I got a question. If you don't have a high sex drive and your man do, and you say you love your man, but he better not cheat on you, and you don't like sharing your man, I don't get it, sis. That don't sound like love. If you know you got a low sex drive and your man got a high sex drive, but you love your man and you want to please your man, you just don't want to share, then you need to turn that shit up and get that pussy up even when you don't want to. Or tag a bitch in to let her get him right, if possible. And everybody wins. You don't gotta have sex when you don't want to, and your man ain't gotta go without. I know y'all ain't ready for them type of conversations.
Sex. Some people do it more, some people do it less, some people don't even do it at all. Well, today I'm going to talk about what happens if your colleague or your husband, your wife, or your boyfriend or girlfriend has more sex urge than you. Mainly this one goes to the female because most men are ever ready, and if you happen to have a girlfriend that is ever ready as well, it might be a blessing or a curse to you, no matter how you see it. But most time people don't even realize that sex itself is a tool that you use to relieve yourself. You release yourself of tension and re-engage yourself with your partner. Sometimes it might be rough. Sometimes I will tell you it's not easy being married or being in a relationship that is very close. Sometimes it's always like I'm just giving up. But if you find a way to engage yourself and have a close relationship with your partner, it eats up some tension. You may not even know, but something happens that you see like, well, I think we are back on track. But the way people see it is that I don't have that urge all the time. I can't be working all the time and be having time to do it, or rather I don't feel the mood anymore. But if you have the kind of mind that okay, I don't want to do it, but I'm willing to let my husband smash another person. Some might like it, some may reject it. I don't know how your husband is, but if you ask me, listen.
Never use sex as a weapon against your husband. And have sex often is probably some of the most extraordinary advice I never got. As a working mom, we get tired, exhausted, overwhelmed. But it is dangerous to neglect our husband's needs. And I'll explain to you why. Sex is such a huge part of a man's identity. It's the way he emotionally bonds with us. And it's crazy because God wired his body this way. When a man experiences an orgasm, his body releases the bonding hormone, oxytocin, in such extraordinary amounts. Women experience it as well, but men do 400% times more. And so that skin-to-skin contact mixed with an orgasm creates deep connection. And I never just want to be a great mom. I never just want to be killing it in the workplace. But I desired for my husband to find me to be a good lover. Look forward to coming home to me. And through difficult conversations, because I was never taught this kind of stuff, I had to learn how to not look at sex as a chore or another responsibility on my to-do list, but enjoy my husband feeling respected and honored and wanted. Imagine if one day our husband came home and said, I don't feel like having sex with you. We would be massively offended and hurt. And so men need sex. It's how they came from the fact.
If you have a problem with your partner, sex is the only way. It may be the way, or it's one of the ways to talk to your partner closely. Listen, there are many ways to go through a man's heart. It's either by food or by sex, depending on the man you married. If you are the kind of woman that cooks very well and your husband will remember your food and say, man, I'm going home to eat my wife's food, then kudos to you, you won. But if you are the kind of woman that doesn't even know how to cook, but you know how to put it up in bed, then he knows that this my woman can't cook, but at least I'm enjoying her body. But if you can't cook and can't perform, then you must be sure to understand that this man will always have a way to help himself out. You may not like it, or you just have to accept it. But however you see it, if a man has more sexual urge, Should the man engage with the other people, or should the lady just say, man, I don't care, as long as you wear protection, do what you have to do? Many people do it abroad. Many people do it. Many wives call prostitutes for their husband, as long as it happens in their very before and they know about it and the man is protected, they are fine with it. They may be like, okay, if you do it at my back, that's a problem. But remember, any relationship that starts with sex will always go with sex. No matter how you start a relationship, it depends. The way you start a relationship depends on how it goes. If you start it with sex, then know that sex will always be on the table. We should be ready to bring it out. Don't say that you are not in the mood, because a man might be angry. A man may have a bad day and still want to have sex, but a woman may have a bad day and say, man, I'm off. So what should the man do if that always happens? Should the man cheat, or should the man just, if you marry the understanding man, or you have an understanding partner, then you are blessed. But if you are the type of woman that knows that you can stay months without having sex, then you have to have a way to appreciate your partner, or have a way to make it up with your partner, or let it go, because men naturally need it. You see that orgasm, it brings down tension. It brings down a lot of tension. That last orgasm, it does a lot of things that we neglect. But I have to tell you that if you are a woman and you think that not having sex with your husband is a way to punish him, then let me tell you that the time he finds a way to cope with his sexual urge, you might have a problem. Just find a way. But if you are a woman with low sexual urge, there are many toys for your husband if he forbids it. But in my opinion, you should try as much as possible to give it up, because this is his body. He wants to enjoy it. And if you are always off, mind you, if you are always off mode, no matter what you do for him, no matter how expensive the things you bought for him, he will want that orgasm. And if you don't give it to him, it will be like he doesn't appreciate your effort. But all he wanted was some coming. That's it. Once he comes down. But a lot of people doesn't understand it. Thanks for listening. See you next time.